Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Brewing Knowledge Friday. We are reading from the book My Good School, where passion meets education. If you recollect, last week we did new teaching and learning approaches, and we realized how teachers have to adapt, what teachers need to do, and how you can make learning better at your end. We are running 2 3 sessions a week, and most of the sessions focus first on liberal arts, second they make you think, and third they give you skills which will help you for your classroom. And with all this, I think what it matters is that your personal and social development is the core of all. So in this chapter we essentially explain what is the structure of personal and social development, why this philosophy and the way we feel education process needs to be delivered helps every young person flourish. Personal and social development at school. The best way to deliver quality education and bring about the personal and social development of an individual is by empowering young people to follow their passion. The name of the book is Where Passion Meets Education. The education process today is built on the 4S approach: service, skill, sport, and study. The CBSE, CICE, and most of the national boards are now adding skills and activities beyond the classroom in their curriculum. Each of these four dimensions of learning are equally essential to help young people find themselves and be the leaders they aspire to be. So, as we are moving towards the end of the book, we are ultimately focusing more on what leadership is. And the last section of the book is purely on school leadership. So we will come to the last section next time. And the beautiful part of the last section is it really explains what leadership means at the school level. Leadership in school is very different from a leadership lesson in management or leadership in any discipline. It's absolutely unique. So you will discover slowly. And it is all about your personal and social development as much. A good school must work to help provide the best ecosystem for the personal and social development of an individual. This will only happen when we focus beyond studies. We need to lay equal emphasis on service, skill, sport, and study. Service. Let's try and understand what is services. Community service or social service has been an integral part of the Doon School since its inception. The first headmaster, Mr. Arthur Foote, believed that the boys should leave the Doon School as members of an aristocracy, but it must be an aristocracy of service, inspired by ideas of unselfishness, not one of privilege, wealth, or position. For decades since then, this has been one of the foundation principles of the school. Over the years, the Doon School has accumulated an enviable record of service. The school boys have always lent their helping hand across India to people affected by the worst hit earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, and floods. For instance, during the 1991 Uttarkashi earthquake, when all communication lines were down, the school's ham radio club joined hands with the state administration and aid providers to set up channels of communication with the base station. When the COVID 19 pandemic struck the country in 2020, the members of the Doon School Old Boys Society just rolled up their sleeves and formed teams to help not only people in distress, but also supported the health workers and civil services with resources and volunteered, often at their own peril. All boys at the Doon School have to complete mandatory hours of social service. This was there historically. I am not sure what the system is now. We will find out, and maybe I'll write a blog on that one day. The school runs a Panchayat Ghar, where the students teach the underprivileged children. The school has over the years adopted villages and worked with the villagers in the construction of houses, community centers, and school buildings, sanitation systems, energy efficiency systems, self employment, and small scale irrigation systems. Apart from village development, the school is actively involved with the Raphael Ryder Cheshire International Centre and the Cheshire Home. So whole idea of service to the community is to understand that we all have a duty beyond just creating wealth and acquiring skills for our personal gain. And when you talk of personal and social development, there are five aspects for personal development which are there on our website, and there are five aspects of social development. So if you go to the website, our website is schooleducation.com. Let me just get the graphic on top for you. So if you go to this website, now this really is the personal and social development map. So if we start from the top, identity, it's personal. Spiritual aesthetic awareness is personal. Decision making is personal. Health is personal. Intellectual growth is personal. Now, from here, the shades change. Communication is social. Relationships are social. Employment opportunities, social. Citizenship, social. Environmental awareness, social. So what we have just read about the examples of social service, they all pertain to relationships, they all pertain to citizenship, they even have examples of environmental awareness. And we are doing this not for our self or the personal self. Look at the right sides, five circles. We're also doing it for others beyond that. And that is the whole idea of doing community service. So if you look at it very slowly and think, if you can communicate well with everyone, you will become a better social person. And that is what developing relationships is about. We keep saying every day here that a good school should provide the 3 R's: reading, relationships, and reflection. Sorry, we call it reading, reflection, and relationships. So, to develop relationships can only develop when you engage with stakeholders in the community. And that's the whole idea of community service. Skill aims to encourage the development of personal interests and practical skills. Music, crafts, arts, nature communication, hobbies, indoor games, vocational skills, and performance skills are some such examples. These interests are typically of a non physical demanding nature and may be hobbies, vocation, or job related. Skill is the learned ability to carry out a task which is predetermined, results often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. In other words, the abilities that one possesses. So, skill is the ability which you possess, which flowers with practice. Skills can often be divided into domain general and domain specific. For example, in the domain of work, some general skills would include time management, teamwork, and leadership, self motivation, and others, whereas domain specific skills would be useful only on a certain job. Skill usually requires certain environmental stimuli and situations to assess the level of skill being shown and used. There are various forms of skills that the school should help deliver: labor skills, life skills, people skills, social skills, soft skills, hard skills are some such examples. Then we move on to sport. Sport is not only important for children's health, it also enhances learning, achievement, resilience, psychological, and motor development. Children who practice sports from a young age are more likely to go on doing so when they are older. School-based sports program can bring out noticeable positive reactions and behavior in teens. School-based sport can be an important part of the child's overall educational experience. When students participate in sport, they can benefit not only physically but also socially and mentally. Sport should encourage young people to improve their personal physical performance through training and perseverance in what they like to play. Involvement in physical recreation should be an enjoyable experience regardless of physical ability. Physical activity is vital to the holistic development of young people, fostering their physical, social, and emotional health. The benefits of sport reach beyond the impact of physical well being, and the value of the educational benefits of sport should not be underestimated. Let's move on to study. Study is applying the mind to learn and understanding a subject. It's especially by reading. The dictionary definition of study reads as application of the mind to the acquisition of knowledge, as by reading, investigation, or reflection. Yogjeev sir, the definition itself makes good school most important. Application of the mind to the acquisition of knowledge, as by reading, investigation, or reflection.
Action, yeah.
This, yeah, I mean, investigation and reflection so interesting that reading helps you investigate. I thought this was an interesting word to highlight here.
Yeah.
It's really one aspect of growth for young people at school. So, application of knowledge, we keep saying that and understand in today's day, it's the application of knowledge which makes you ready for the world. It's not knowledge. Knowledge is free. And today, knowledge is even freer. There isn't a better time, I say it every time, when knowledge is available on the tap. It's up to you to fill up your buckets. And after you fill up your buckets, it's up to you to do with the water you have collected. That's the application. I fill up a bucket, water some plants. That's the application. The Round Square is a worldwide association of schools in 5 continents sharing unique and ambitious goals. Students attending Round Square schools make a strong commitment beyond academic excellence to personal development and responsibility. The Round Square approach promotes 6 ideals of learning: internationalism, democracy, environment, adventure, leadership, and service. These are incorporated into the curriculum throughout all member schools. I'll take a pause here. JDS is a member of the Round Square group. You want to tell us something more about Round Square? Anyone from JDS? Anyone from JDS? You want to, Suman, you want to share something about Round Square and how your school benefits?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Suman.
And everybody. Yes, sir. We are members from past, I think, 7, 8 years, and attended two, we can say, retreats also. One in London and second one in Chandigarh and Solan. Last year it was there, and means same creative thinking and collaborative means tasks and everything which is these important are 6 C's are totally included in their activities and all that. Moreover, our students also got a chance to meet with the students of other countries also along with our own. We can say it is very beneficial in every way.
So, Suman, it talks of internationalism. You've said that. It talks of
Yes, sir.
democracy, environment, adventure, leadership, and service. And I'm sure
Yes,
you
sir.
all must have felt that service for Round Squares is the most important part.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us the service project you did on your last Round Square network meeting? Could you share something about the service project?
Service for service projects are actually it was less than our good school. We yes, sir. Actually, we just met with them, and everything was well organized by themselves. We haven't anything means we didn't share anything like that. Only that thing we did in our good schools retreat, sir.
So you like the service of the Good School Retreat. Thank you for that. And on that note, I
Yes.
want to mention today right here, and Konal will be happy. Our next retreat is in Varanasi, 27th October to 30th October. It's hosted by the Sunbeam Group and the Sunbeam Grameen School. So maybe you can attend that. You'll enjoy that. It'll be a new experience altogether. We'll work at the Sunbeam Grameen School and the village around there. We will spend 4 days in Varanasi in the Sunbeam Sun City campus. Thank you, Suman. Access to the Round Square network affords member schools the opportunity to arrange local and international student and teacher exchanges on a regular basis between schools. Pupils get an opportunity to participate in local and international community service projects and conferences. Tasks tackled through the community projects include building schools, classrooms, and community centers, building clean water systems for remote hill tribes, or creating and maintaining trails in national parks. At this point, I think one person who did phenomenal work with Round Square was Shomi Das. So, a lot of things which you are talking of here as community projects. And Shomi led this from the front. So, when we read his book, we also got a feel of all what Shomi did. Some of you who were not here, it was Shomi Das's book, The Man Who Saw Tomorrow. You can read that. We also have some recordings of the book on the YouTube channel. Please listen to them. You know why we do these sessions the way we are doing them? We record them. Some of you like listening. So we are more than a audio book. We are more than a flat reading textbook. And that's the beauty of our sessions, where you can read on the screen and you can listen when you replay the video. So enjoy that. Local materials are used, and teams always work with local people, ensuring that they take ownership of the work once it has been completed. The IB offers four programs for students aged 3 to 19 to help develop their intellectual, personal, emotional, and social skills to live, learn, and work in a rapidly globalizing world. It aims to develop inquisitive, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help to create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. To this end, the organization works with schools, governments, and international organizations to develop challenging programs of international education and rigorous assessment. These programs encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people with their differences can also be right. Socially useful productive work, this existed in the Indian subject system, is a subject in Indian schools where students can choose from a number of vocational education activities: embroidery and knitting, gardening, cooking, painting, carpentry, and other crafts and hobbies, and club community service for senior students, class 9 onward. So, this is the structure, and I'm talking history. Students learn to work as a team and to work with skill and deftness. So, deftness is expertise. So, that's the meaning of deftness. Neatly, skillfully, and quick in one's movements. So that's deftness. It's an interesting word here. It was introduced in 1978 by the Ministry of Education to promote Gandhian values and educational ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. While most private schools, barring a few, have dispensed with the subject, it remains an ancillary but mandatory part of course curriculum in schools affiliated to CISCE, which conducts the ICSC and the ISC examinations in India. It is also taught in some CBSE schools, which includes all Kendra Vidyalaya and Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya schools. Now I'm going to give you an example of Fab India School. The Fab India School's mission is to provide access to high quality education for boys and girls at the rural level using English as a medium of instruction. The school views primary education as a major stone towards social mobility. We are talking of personal and social development. Equality and employment opportunities are important for the school. At this school, there is equal emphasis on study, skill, service, and sport. The school has instituted four trophies for excellence in service, skill, sport, and study. The 4S approach. Saturday at school is the activity day, and on this day, regular study or academic pursuit is dispensed with in favor of service, skill, and sport. To
Yeah.
make up for the loss of the mandated study hours, the school has added 1 hour to the timetable on Monday to Friday. Public schools subscribe to the philosophy that children should be exposed to a general all round education and emerge as a good secular citizens of India. Schools must develop the minds of the children and also their physique, their skills, their personality and leadership traits, and create a sense of fellow feeling with less fortunate brethren, if they are to be good citizens. Many such schools lay equal emphasis on the 4S, as this alone helps young people find their true potential. We must remember that marks or scores do not leave marks, but karma or deeds will leave footprints on the sand. School curriculum must be built in such a way that empowers the students and helps them make a mark in life. I'll just highlight this and add it to your work group. I'll take a pause. Any questions, any reflections here? Then we will read the second part of today. Anyone has a question? Anyone wants to speak? Please do.
Actually, when we were doing the Yes workshop and we were looking at different professions and how those professions need the aspects of, service, skill, and sport besides study. It's a need in many professions. So it's something that's uh, you need to develop just for your to excel in most professions. So I think
Yeah,
that's the
that's
other aspect of this.
absolutely, Jugdeep sir. So as you talked about it, I thought I might as well share with everyone where this is. So it's there on the website. If you type in youth.org, you'll reach here. So what it says is that good schools empower students to excel in service, skills, sport, and study. Please excuse us the extra full stop. I don't know why that is there. We will get it edited. So what Jugjeev sir is saying is about the yes way. Now, yes way means how youth engage with society. So when we started today and we showed you the website, let's go back to the home page of the website. So if you look at this, do you see the whole circle you give, sir, about
Yeah,
personal and social development? So
yeah,
youth engages with society, that's citizenship. Youth engages with society, that's employment. And that's what you mentioned, Jugdeep, sir, that every profession in the Yes workshop we discover will have an element of service, skill, sport, and study. Yes, relationship, communication, all these things happen. But when you're looking at employment opportunities, it's important for us to look at how youth engage with society. And this is part of our joy of learning exercise. And there is a presentation here. Feel free to download it. It explains how you can do this at your school. There is also a video here. Now, here the children decided they want to become a politician. And then they realize that to become a politician, they need service, skills, sport, and study. So there are more videos like this on the YouTube video channel. Please feel free to access them. So here is a comment here. The workshop is suitable and very interesting. We learned quite a lot. We know that each of us is 10 on 10. Yet we may have different likings, ways of thinking, and passions. We learn to work with the team and create something creative and new. The workshop was fun. So this is interesting, and you can find out more. If you need help, we can help you conduct the workshop remotely. But remember, our retreat is a live workshop. So than just giving you a workshop, we invite you to the retreat. Now, talking about the retreat, what Jugjeev sir just said, I'll tell you how we explained that. So when we went to the retreat, and today my dear Suman ma'am also said that a sense of service and learning from the retreat happens. So on the retreat page on the website, Jugiv sir, can you see the scrapbook?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if you flip the scrapbook, you'll get a fair idea how our students experience service, skill, sport, and study. Let me see if I could explain that to you. So this is how children felt what the four things were. They explored the village. They understood the village and the environment. So when we talked of environmental awareness, that popped in. When we talked of communication, that popped in. When we talk of employment skills, when they were exploring the village, they realized what employment skills are. So then what they did similarities between their environment and the environment at the Arthur Food Academy. This was a study which the children did at the retreat. Then what they learned at the retreat, they share that. This scrapbook is available. Have a look at it. This is like a logbook or a reflection, very well produced on a large sheet presentation. You can even download it and use it to create a retreat like learning at your school. So that's about this retreat. So thank you, Jugji, for pointing that out. And I would be happy to share. Jugji, you want to read the next chapter?
Okay.
Yeah.
Real world learning. Why do we have school trips? Why do we encourage visits to places of interest for our young people? Why do our parents and friends travel for leisure? Exploration and adventure are an integral part of our lives. Today, the world has become smaller as we all travel to learn and experience real world learning. A trip on a train will help us understand the differences between speed and velocity. Climbing the mountains will demonstrate the fall in air pressure as we move up the dizzying heights. Floating on the salty sea will explain what density is and how saline water offers us buoyancy. We learn the best when we get out of the classroom and learn in the theater with the sky above and the earth below. Education is not a drill, but an experience, and this is how real learning must be. We need to push young people to think out of the box. For this is imperative that we get out of the box. Classroom 2. At my school, we were indeed. No, I haven't finished.
Sorry, I seem to have. I'm sorry
Yeah.
about
At my school, we were indeed very lucky to have the midterm break. And this, for me personally, was the best form of learning. Team building, planning, logistics, cooking, survival, and most of all, the need to push ourselves beyond the comfort zone made us find ourselves. The challenge always lies within. Today, when I catch up with my school friends and the hundreds of young people who have been on treks with me, they are all most thankful for the learning experiences out of school. The challenge for us is to find the opportunity to help deliver good education, and this can only happen outside the classroom. Study is only one of the four corners of the edifice of learning. Add to it service, skill, and sport, and you will be able to deliver quality education. Personal and social development is the key outcome of our education process. As we want the young people to grow up and become responsible and caring individuals, we must look at the real world and be able to demonstrate the outcome of learning. Away from the rote learning and into experiential learning is the preferred approach to ensure that the purpose of education is achieved. The journey to school, stories retold, and moments you shared with your peers outside the classroom will live with you lifelong. Gripped with nostalgia, when you look back and reflect, the sports field, the school trip, and the fun you had while growing up will be on top of the mind. Yes, you will perhaps forget what you were taught in many of the subject classes, but you will remember the most caring and interesting teachers. The school trips and the adventure out of school will live with you always. You will remember an outing to a sanctuary or a bird watching trip, and this will be far more useful and real as compared to watching the film reel or video of the same. We need to experience the real world and not rely on the real world when we develop a curriculum for learning and education delivery. It's not a hidden truth that many school dropouts and those who have grown up with informal learning have achieved greater heights and have found themselves. We have the case of Bill Gates amongst us today. Earlier, there were Edison and Einstein, great physicists and inventors. Many of the adventure buffs and those who have taken the course of adventure travel have become very successful in life. The world today has space for people who follow their hearts and use their passion to deliver excellence in whatever they do. You do not have to live the drudgery of exams and syllabus and make a life. Self-learning and learning at one's own pace is today gaining ground too. As experiential learning and innovative teaching take center stage, I'm sure that real world learning will take precedence over rote learning that mass education programs tend to adopt. Assembly lines only produce a prototype, and the earning of an average worker is a pittance as compared to the innovator, the thinker, and the creator. Real life and the creation of nature must be understood, lived with, and dwelt upon to offer good quality education. No school can be built with only brick and mortar. The institution of learning must be a place for our minds to wonder, explore, and evolve. Today, we have the concept of a gap year. The long adventure journeys and the outings the school and peer groups experience. This must become a part of any learning environment. As travel becomes more affordable and possible, real world learning will become a pleasure many will be able to experience. It's not the distance covered, but the need to move and explore that is needed. We do not have to go for miles. Let us look in our backyards and see how we can help the young people find themselves. And this is where success will ultimately be found. Please do appreciate the small example from real life I'm tempted to share here. In my 3 decades of being a youth leader and volunteer, I've had the opportunity to accompany young people on adventurous journeys all over the world. We used to start our planning months in advance. The physical conditions and the benchmarks for stamina levels made us run for weeks and months to be able to qualify for the school summer camp. The days and nights spent in making our lists of food, first aid, equipment, and items of personal use were real challenges. And then came the medical test too. As I look around and try to track many of the students and those who were part of this real world learning, I'm happy to see that most of them have indeed achieved great heights and are doing very well in their lives. When we meet, we simply say that for them, the opportunity to go beyond the walls of the school were indeed what made them self sufficient and confident and helped them find themselves. Life is an opportunity and must be lived to the fullest. Get up, get out, and get going on the journey of exploration and adventure.
Thank you, Jugjeev sir. So we will add a bookmark here. Manisha, you want to take a screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just keep it for next week. We will put the screenshot. I've just added to the WhatsApp, so that's sorted out. So next week you'll need this, Manisha, to find your page. आपने screenshot ले लिया. Thank you. So I am now going to share one or two more things to add to what Jugjeev sir said. But before I do that, Jugjeev sir, over to you to summarize what you said, and I will stop the share so that you can talk.
Actually, just reading this chapter really took me back to school and all the fun we had. And the point around all the planning for the midterms and stuff, that used to be the really exciting part, because you spend so much time planning, especially private midterms, and we were on our own. And I mean, it's an amazing experience because you were out in the world by yourself. It's like, and you were what, 15 years old. That was a, amazing experience. And I think that's, and in Shomi's book also, it's the same point, right? What Kurt Hahn had said. You have to sort of push people to that level. There are risks around, but risks that you can manage. And it just took me back to. They were really, as I think, as you've written, they were really the best
That was
time.
Jugjeev sir, that was productive failure. What Shomi writes is productive failure only. That they could read. You read that you're talking of that story when they went hiking and Shomi was a young man with the kids, and then they had to sleep out in the open. So there was a risk. They could have got hypothermia. They could have got mauled by animals. But that didn't stop him from going and completing it and then answering people back. Yeah, I took the call to take them. How many teachers can do that today? I don't
Yeah.
think many can do that. So another thing
Yeah.
which I want to highlight and which Suman also said, that the retreat is a little time capsule. I know what productive failure would say, that we hedge the risks, we do discovery learning. So retreat that way is a time capsule of what this entire story about learning from experience, learning from real world. And I just hope that more of our teachers and special projects can experience the retreat. And I'm quite sure as we go along, our retreats will become more wholesome. As we have now decided to travel to new places, we've decided to explore new areas in the country. And like you said, main thing is going out and seeing for yourself. And that's what application of knowledge is. If you saw today's reading, it started with application of knowledge. And what you read today, in terms of what helps you become a better person, about learning how to do things, that's application of knowledge. The beautiful examples about physics, buoyancy, floating on the salty water, understanding pressure, going up the mountain, why your ears suddenly get pressurized. You
Yeah.
understand that their pressure and height has a correlation. And no matter how much you do this in a classroom, it can never happen. It just can't happen, come what may. So on that note, Jugdeep sir, I think what I need to do, I need to share two, three things before we call it a day. One is this resource is called the Brewing Knowledge Friday Reader. So what we have done, all thanks to Suman who got us going early this year. Suman, I can't thank you enough for starting this exercise. Your service will be well celebrated. So if you see today, today's 30th, we've read Personal and Social Development at School. It's page 123 in the book. We've read Real World Learning, page 129. And I have given you some links here. So you can, when you click on these links, they will take you to a cross reference where you'll find a blog post. I'll give one example here. So, personal and social development at school, if you can't get the book, please feel free to click here in the reader. The reader is available in the WhatsApp chat, and you will come to an article which formed the basis of this chapter, which is published in the book. So have a look at it, read it again. It's worth your while to actually go back and read this and make your notes. And beyond the notes, it may be worth your while to even write to us as to how you do this in your school. We'd be happy to receive reflections. You can send them to Manisha. Manisha, just post your email ID in the WhatsApp group. Most of the people here, they're in that, and you can even share in the chat here. So you're free to send posts to Manisha about what you feel of the Brewing Knowledge Saturday. What are the 5 takeaways from today's session? Why you feel study, skills, sport, and service are there in your school? Or maybe a simple exercise which we ask for children at the retreat. Please just list, what do you do in your school as study? What do you do in your school as skill? What do you do in school as sport? And finally, what do you do for service? That itself will make you think as to why you do things and how you do things. And once you're able to do that, I promise you things will change for you. So that's an interesting resource. So I'll just get this out of the way. I will get the brewing knowledge sheet out of the way, and I will share one more thing with you before we go. Manisha is very keen to show you that. So I will share with you what we call the Teachers Academy blog, because all the programs we do with you are connected with our Teachers Academy's outreach. So if you go to the Teachers Academy, it's happyteacher.in. At the Teachers Academy, what I was suggesting, some teachers who attended our reading session previous Sunday, look at the way they've reflected. Jugjeev sir, this is your Athafoot maiden attempt. Now they've started doing posts as individuals. Look at the
Wow.
creativity, look at the drawings. So in last week, there's a huge amount of inflow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 posts came in. Then in between, you will find this is a recording of the Thursday session. And what you will find here, let's say, last time we talked about education. And today we will create a post like this for personal and social development, what we have done. So this is the post for last Friday, in case you missed the session. The video is embedded, what education does. You can read here, the cross references are here, a summary is here. So we give you enough to follow up. And yes, if you want an educator's badge, you can get it. If you want the book, you can get it. There is an email address below, you can order it from there. So do check out the Teachers Academy. There's nothing more I want to add for here. So I'm done with the Teachers Academy. We did refer to the Good School Alliance website in the middle. We will not refer to My Good School here because that'll confuse you with too many cross references. But My Good School meets on Sundays, and Jugjeev sir is the Sundays rock star. He's our Guru, Jugjeev. So there are only two gurus I know. One is Guru Nanak, whom Amardeep brings, and second is Guru Jugjeev, who for me is a living allegory. So thank you, Jugjeev, for all you do. And before we part, we have a minute today. We have a reasonable number of people. We have 2 minutes. If anyone wants to come right in, please do say what you want. आपके दिल में कुछ धक धक हो रही है, हमें सुनाओ. जो भी कहना चाहते हो कहो. मैं आज पूरा इंग्लिश में पढ़ा. आपने सोचा होगा आप हिंदी वाले हैं, परंतु आपको इंग्लिश पढ़नी है, इसलिए आप इंग्लिश सुनोगे बार बार तो अपने आप पढ़ोगे. हम इस पूरे चैप्टर को हिंदी में समझा सकते थे, पर हमने नहीं समझाया, क्योंकि ये किताब आपको पढ़ने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. और ये बहाना मत बनाना किताब नहीं है. मैंने आपको ब्लॉग के लिंक दे दिए हैं. हम बहाने नहीं लेते. आपको कहने की जरूरत नहीं किताब खरीदी नहीं. और YouTube वीडियो जब चलाओगे तो किताब के पन्ने वैसे ही नजर आएंगे, तो आप उसको पढ़ सकते हो. कोई सवाल जवाब कहीं से भी. मे बी आप कोई जना आके अपने स्कूल का नाम बता दे. You can do that. We don't know where you're all from. We have people from across the country. Anyone wants to unmute, or maybe in the chat you can write down your school name. That may be interesting for us to know where you come from.
I'm especially interested in if there are any teachers from Blossom School in Aligarh.
Last time they were.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, last time they were. So JDS, yes, good. Please write your school name in the chat box. That's all you need to do. Learn how to use the chat box. It's an essential part. Yeah, you have Blossom Aligarh here. Right. Today also you have.
Very good, very good.
Anyone else, if you feel you'd want to tell us about your school, you have Jamku Devi School, beautiful. You have Atha Food Academy. Thank you, Sakshi. Other schools, Lotus Petal se koi hai? Lotus Petal Foundation. Yeah. Ma'am Sherwani is there from the Blossom School. Jamku Devi School. JDS, lovely. Oh, thank you. It's our pleasure. Why should you thank? We should thank you that you found time for us. Don't thank us. Seema Goel, what school is that, please? You just mentioned school, so maybe you typed too fast. So Noreen is also from Blossoms, Aligarh. Yeah. So we have good presence from Aligarh and Jamku Devi School. Yeah, it's kind of dominated by these two.
That's good. No, I'm
Also,
happy that
this session was curated specially for Jamku Devi School. They are the ones who actually came up with this idea, with someone coming to the retreat and saying, we can do this. So I said, okay, let's do it. Manisha, over to you for the last word.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
It's great to hear everyone's good evening. In the same way, I'm looking forward for everyone's reflection points. So in case there is some takeaway, I believe there'll be many takeaways today. So whatever is your takeaway, please write it down. My email ID is already, I have sent it on WhatsApp as well as in the chat box. Do write, do let us know what you want to write, and we are going to publish the same on our website. In case of any doubt, any other thing you would like me to share with you, or you want me to answer your questions, you are most free. Please send me a message on my phone number or email it to me. My phone number I've already shared in the chat box. Do let me know about it. Thank you.
Manisha, if someone wants to post a message in the Brewing Knowledge community, please do. Write whatever you want to start using the conversation in the WhatsApp chat. You can also write there. Manisha can pick up from there and we can put together all the thoughts of today and create one post. That's how we like starting. So maybe whatever you learned today, you can just write down in WhatsApp. हिंदी में लिखें, इंग्लिश में लिखें. आप कुछ भेजना चाहें व्हाट्सएप में भेज दें, मनीषा वहां से उठा लेगी. बिकॉज मुमकिन है कभी ईमेल लिखना भेजना मुश्किल हो जाता है. आप व्हाट्सएप में वॉइस नोट भेज दें और बोलिए, हम एआई को बोलेंगे वॉइस नोट का टेक्स्ट बना के आपके बिहाफ पे पोस्ट कर देगी. ऐसे आप एआई यूज कर सकते हैं. पर एआई को ये मत बोलिए मेरा वॉइस नोट बना दे, वो नहीं बनाएगी, क्योंकि एआई आपकी वॉइस अभी मिमिक नहीं कर सकती, परंतु करने जा रही है. अगर आप एआई से पूछोगे मुझे संदीप दत्त की वॉइस सुना दे, वो आपको सुना देगी, क्योंकि एआई ने मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल पूरा रिप कर लिया है. Our YouTube channel is public and all the content is already being ripped apart by AI. So thank you so much. On the lighter note, Jugjeev sir, AI means all in. हमारे पास सब कुछ है, हम बाहर ढूंढ रहे हैं AI को. So thank you everyone. See you next Friday for the Brewing Knowledge sessions. And tomorrow, yes, we have productive failure. So I do 2 sessions a week, Friday Brewing Knowledge, Saturday Productive Failure. Jugjeev sir hosts Sunday My Good School, and Brinda is the host with 2 co-hosts, Subhashish ji as well as Jatin, on Thursday. So that's all for now. And yes, there is the weekly which you can get. Don't miss that out. Thank you so much, Jugjeev sir. Thank you, Manisha. Have a great week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.